Okay, hello, good morning, bonjour, konnichiwa, dzień dobry, or whatever. Guten Tag. I was asked to make the gear guide and cover the substats, so I'll be going by this. And I will be starting by sheets first because it will be easier for me from explaining the theory because all the theory is already here. So basically every class wants different substats. If you see this in the sheets, you basically know everything you need to know. Those are the possible stats for the items that you can roll, because not every item can roll every stats. Weapon can just roll those. They can't roll you resistance or defense, for example. What every class wants is those stats. Those are nice. You mainly want to focus on the left side. Right side is just good. But the earlier you are in the game, the more you will accept as the items just to have something. Okay. Those are, I think it's pretty clear because I write a lot. This is basically what kind of stat you want to have on green item. So if you have green item, you cannot have only one substat, so you either aim at this or this. Just single stat. If you have blue items, you want to double stats. Those. It's just that simple. If you have purple gear, you want, for example, this as starting stats. Or this. Perfectly, you want different stats depending on the class and the items. So, for example, when you go for the physical DPS like fighter, ninja, thief, you get green item, you want to attack, you want to have defense or sur, to just have the weapon on the start. Then you go to blue, you want attack and sur, you want evasion and sur, or you want evasion and attack. The later you move, the closer to perfect items you want to have. So perfectly, you want this. But if you can't secure those stats, you go for this. Whenever it's attack percent or not, or evasion percent or not, it doesn't matter. You just want to have those stats to be as close to perfect. So you can aim, for example, for a weapon like this. There are pretty easy, clear explanation to what you should alter or not. But yeah, the other thing about the classes like this is if you play front, you want to have as many attack as possible, as many surety as possible, but you don't want to have too many evasion, because if you invest everything on evasion, for example, on the weapon or the ring, you won't have attack. And you want to have attack and surety the most. So, perfectly, you want ring like this, that doesn't have evasion. The same for the weapon. Because where you will be getting evasion? It will be either double evasion from the shield, double evasion from the armor, double evasion from the shoes, or you will have mix of evasion and action speed. It really depends on what you like. If you like speed, you go speed. If you like evasion, you go for the evasion. You can't have too many evasion and too many speed, because there are just some thresholds that you don't want to overlap. There is no point to go over 160 evasion and I did say 75 speed for the fighters. So yeah, you just go to some points, then you focus on the attack and surety. The most important is that you need to have evasion, so you won't be dying. because if you die, you don't do damage. It's that simple. So first you want to focus on getting evasion, then you want to push as many attack and surety so you can push your DPS higher while maintaining the evasion. Okay. There is the list of the weapons. And the gear. And there is so much to cover for me. So I've been doing it simply because I have recommended items. So basically, there are elemental weapons, there are elemental armors, there are special type of weapons and armors, and if I highlight something in the sheets, it means you want to have one of those. For why, you can ping me on Discord, so I'll be explaining, because there will be a lot of explaining. Either way, for the knight, you want to have Sword of Promises. Why? Because the same as hatchets, it ignores defense. And believe me, if you build knight for the attack and surety, he will be fucking trash, and he won't be useful at all. So you build knight either for defense or for defense and surety for the fortified strike. Either way, defense ignoring items will be the best for the knight. And you want to have armor at the front, so you have more stats for the knight that matters. If you play knight in the back row, because yes, you can. It's different. I won't say it's better or worse. I don't play knights in the back row. If you do, you play with the spear. Or you can play with the bow. But spear is better because it counts as melee weapon, so you can proc the counter attacks. It's always some damage. At this moment, I recommend those items because we have a lot of dark enemies, we have a lot of beast enemies, and having some resistance against undead is not bad idea, but undead enemies are pretty easy, so yeah. For the fighter, you'll be getting best DPS from this weapon, but if you fight dark enemies, you want to have this. Because there is no Sword of Aurora, you have only Dagger. And Daggers are anyway better than swords because of the surety. And yes, they give more surety and you lose damage, and surety is better than clear attack itself by base calculation. Because for attack you'll be reaching like 4 times higher numbers than for surety. So yeah, daggers are better than swords. That's simple. But if you lack attack and you don't, and somehow you have enough evasion to dodge, or you just don't care about dodging for whatever reasons, you can go for the axe. So you can pretty much penetrate some defense and do higher damage to enemies with a lot of defense when you don't have any attack. But it's stupid, because you have the sword now. So there is no point in this unless your stats are low. So yeah, basically basing on the stats, you either want to play swords if you have good stats, and shield because it gives you more evasion and surety, so higher DPS and higher survivability, or you go for 200 axe when you are desperate and somehow you can't do damage because you are sleeping on the items, or you are early in the game and you don't have those items. Everyone play in the different state of the game. That's pretty much this. Yeah, the items I recommend here are either anti-dark resistance or anti-demon items, because the best spot to farm now is Demon Cave, and the later floors of the Abyss Tree are vampires and demons and succubi. All of those count as demons, yeah. The best pick is of course mastering, but you have only one, so if you run multiple fighters, just go for this. Or if you can't survive with this, you go for this for more dark resistance. The best armor is without any doubts Feywood, because it's give you 10 free evasion max out. That's a lot when normal robe gives you 0. But if you have issues with dark enemies, you go for the cloak. It will be the same for the lower classes, so I'll be skipping both of them. For the priest, you don't play priest with shield. Just please don't. Play properly. The same with mages. I mean, you can play priest with shield and rod on the front if you have really high divinity. But you're losing front line that way. One spot for the fighter. Why? No, just don't do it. For the mages, yes, 200 stuff. Yes, I know there are people who play with mage dodger and mage shield. It's stupid. But if you like frontline mages, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. You will just have hard time in the game. For the ninja. Ninja are the best back row DPS we have at this moment. Neither fighter or thief don't comes even close to kunai damage. It's just that huge gap of DPS. So when you play ninja, you want them to have a backlane if you auto, so you can cover your backlane with the ninjas. If you play manually, you can play them on the front as evasion tanks, but you can as well play warriors here and have ninjas on the back, so you have better DPS overall. Or you have mages on the back, so you want to have ninjas on the front. It depends how you play. Covered blade is trash. Two-handed weapon from ninjas is for some reason only one hit, so it doesn't do damage at all, especially if you have attack. It's just garbage, and even if those covered blade would be 2 hitting weapons, they wouldn't be good enough to cover the DPS that you can reach with the dodger or kunai. For the samurai, there is no option that you can play only katana, and for some reason samurai are forbidden from magehood. So you won't have those nasty magic either. You can go for the secret to have more magic. That's why there is no magehood for those who are unaware. Yeah, basically if you want some more information, just refer to this. Pink people from here on the Discord. Either me, X, Morse, Chaos, Magoto, Recovers, we all are past the late game. We all are part of the Abyss Tree. So all of us can answer you for sure. And now I'll be going to the game to explain the other things. Okay. So to make it more visual and easier to understand, if you have, for example, mage, I don't have bishop on him, I don't play Adam, he's just my dispatch character with some trash gear. So yeah, anyway, I focus on action speed and magic. I focus on action speed, magic, action speed, magic and evasion. That's pretty much how you play mage. Maybe I'll be doing this. The same here. Magic, evasion, action speed, magic, action speed, evasion, action speed, magic. I like to have evasion on the back row. It's not the best. You are better to go into magic defense, but I like to play this way. I can play this way, so it's not an issue for me. If you play half magic, half priest, go for both. That's how I play. It's my opinion. You can ignore some divinity and focus more on magic, but you don't need to. I prefer to balance it out. So for example, I have divinity here, I have divinity here, but here I have magic. The same on the ring. The stats you want to focus on are over the same. Just go for the stats that are in the sheets. For the thief, fighter, ninja, it won't matter, because all your stats will be the same. You want to have attack and surety. You want to have evasion. You want to have attack. You want to have evasion and surety. You want to have attack. You want to have evasion, attack and surety. The same will be for fighters or thieves. It really doesn't matter, because all the classes play the same. This should be surety, but I didn't alter it. Anyway, evasion, surety, because I don't have attack, and accuracy is kind of okay. Surety and evasion, double attack and surety. You can't get surety on the gloves and on the shoes, it's altered already. Evasion, attack, surety. Whatever is your character, you focus on the same stats all over a game. If you have physical DPS, it will be the same stats on all the pieces of gear that are in the sheets. You focus on them. You build as many as possible. So those three classes builds the same. Priest builds divinity and action speed. So you go divinity. You go action speed and magic defense. You go divinity. More divinity. More action speed and magic defense. More divinity. You always aim, if you run per priest, just focus on as much speed as possible, because you want to rotate the buffs as many times as possible. So if you can reach double turn, it will be great. You don't need to, but it's an option. Samurai is different. You build attack and magic on him, and evasion, and surety, of course. So yeah, the same almost sheets and the warriors, thieves, etc. The only difference is you can build the magic, because the magic and the attack are 1-to-1 on both classes. It doesn't matter which one you have. The higher the better. The difference will be when you play knights, because knights, oh shit, wants as many defense, evasion and armor as possible. So yeah, evasion, surety, magic defense, defense, evasion, magic defense, alter, surety, evasion, magic defense, 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 surety, action speed, defense, evasion, action, attack, you don't want to have attack on the weapon on the knights. You want to have something like this, for example. And I should be using this actually. Anyway, that are the stats you want to use on the knights. You build defense, you build magic defense, you build evasion, you build surety. Because the only damaging skills for the knights are those two. And I don't remember if Stun Bash scars damage on the defense, but the chance is based on the defense. And this is the only skill of the knight that does damage. It won't be doing as many damage as fighters, unless you do really heavy investment in the knights, then it can for some reasons. But yeah, knights are shit to build because you want surety, because you want evasion, because you want action speed, like on fighters. But the issue is, on fighters you want to have attack, and you can focus specific items more on attack. On knights you want to have two stats instead, and your weapon doesn't offer many good options for the knight because you need to have evasion percent, surety and surety. Of course it will be worse to build. Oh, okay. So you will be wanting to use this for defense penetration, or this defense penetration. You don't want to have attack on the knight. It's useless, completely useless. The only different character is Sabia, because she have this skill. It penetrates defense, but it's scaling on the attack. So you can build Savia as knight that ignores fortified strike. You won't be using this. You focus on this. Then you build heroic fighter. Is it worth it? Kind of. It really depends on how you want to play. It's up to you. If you want to play here as a knight for fortified strike, or as fighter for or as knight that's for the counters. In my opinion, at this point, just change her to thief and use the bow on the backlane so she can be evasion tank in the backlane, or give her dodger, send her on the front so she can be evasion tank in the front. If you want to play around this counter, she's better than as the thief. But overall, I like this skill. I will be playing her this way. That's why I built those stats. There are different types of weapons in this game. Usually, two-handed weapons for the frontline class are trash. Spear can hit 2 lanes without the damage debuff. It's okay. But there is no reason why you want to play spear when you can play bow, and you have option for hunting arrow, which have magical beast slayer. Unless you play against the light enemy, dark enemy, then you have, I don't have it, but you have light spear, as far as I remember. Then you play spear. It depends on your enemy. Different enemies, different places to farm, different items. Axe is the best two-handed weapon because it ignores defense, and it have lower action speed and evasion. It's okay, you can balance it out. Greatsword are fucking garbage. it gives you a bit better action speed and evasion than the axe, but you have less attack. You don't have penetration. It's trash. And don't even make me start on the 200 mallets that are pretty much useless. There is one character that doesn't want to use them, but he has skill for them. And let me tell you, you won't be doing damage with that skill, even if you invest into it. Every class uses different weapons. Thieves can use daggers, and kunai. Ninja can use daggers, kunai, and katana. Fighters can use different weapons. You will be able to see everything in the game yourself. I think I covered most of the things. I'll be stopping this here. I hope it helps.